We haven't done a garden stroll in a long time. How about an early summer walkabout? The berm is in full lavender bloom. The daturas are exploding as they hit their summer stride. These ones get full sun, so they're a little ahead of some of the other ones. Such magnificent smelling blossoms. Those blossoms will close up here today, and that one right there will open tonight. They only last a day, sometimes a little longer if it's overcast and cool for the whole day. Some lovely little flutterby, and the bees are on the lavender. Some grasshoppers too. Moon glow. Coming up. Russian sage. I hate this stuff. Oh, there's our lovely little bindweed. We never had bindweed in this yard until I bought high quality, quote, topsoil for this berm after I tore out the hedge that was here when we moved in. This whole front of the property had a hedge from corner to corner, except for the driveway, of course. Our lovely old western catalpa. Blooms are over for the summer. Lamb's ear in full bloom. Bees love it too. Lovely rose. I think it's kaleidoscope if I remember correctly. More lavender coming down the front walk. There's some, is it Oenthera? I think that yellow. Another volunteer datura. And there's more datura there in the front. This is the first coneflower blossom of the summer. Those will go most of the summer. Stella d'Ora, little daylilies with one interloper that has inserted itself. Seed pods of Love and a Mist is the common name. I don't know what the Latin is. All this is larkspur. We have a variety of, this is a German, oh, my mind just went blank. It'll come to me as we come to these other ones here. I've got squash out front this year. Got a little bit of a late start, but there's plenty of time left in the summer. They're all hard squashes. Except there's some zucchini right there that the grasshoppers are liking, but I think they're going to be fine. Mullein, that's it, because here's the regular mullein patch that spreads itself about. We pull up a lot of mullein early in the spring because it reseeds so aggressively, but if you get it early, it's pretty easy to pull out. This German mullein is a little more well behaved. If you trim it, it keeps sending up some little branched blossoms too. They're not very flashy bloomers, but something. Got a couple of elderberries that we planted the last couple of years that are doing really well. This variegated dogwood is taking over this bed just nicely. We like that. Here's my nice shady front porch. Get to sit in. It's in shade all day long, thanks to the big old catalpa tree here. Going around the back, we'll walk through the gate. Look at that, more datura. Couple daylilies. The black bamboo patch took a hard hit this winter. It froze pretty bad. This is feverfew that also reseeds easily around the garden. The variegated Japanese grass is just getting started. Come around, we have the view into the backyard. This is our little deck off our bedroom. Jenny likes to hang out here. She has a little, what we call the Zen garden here, with a little watering hole for the plants and Buddha. The backyard is, you can see this path is in major disrepair as the weeds are taking over. Regular red twig dogwood that is so aggressive in this location, it covers the path every year and we have to whack it back. This is desert 4 o'clock. It's a little yellow this year. I think it might be getting too much water from overspray from the lawn sprinklers. That's the only thing I can think of right off. And we've got a water lily bloom in the fish pond. It's a lovely little noisemaker here in the backyard. Flower pots scattered around that Allison planted this year, and volunteer lavender there. This Bonica rose is just finishing up, needs to be deadheaded. There's still a few blooms happening, but it'll bloom again later on if we deadhead it. St. Christopher and the animals. This is another Bonica that didn't get cut short enough last year, and it's all top heavy and blocking the path as well. We'll go around. Honeysuckle growing up the bird feeder pole. I just took out a old dead hawthorn this spring here. It was the same size as that hawthorn there. We also have 3 dead ornamental cherries now that all died of old age. There's a big one out front too. That's going to be an expensive removal. Agastacia. There's way too much bronze fennel that was left to go to seed last year and has spread rather aggressively through this bed. Lovely roses here, Perfume Delight, and I think Spellcaster is the other one. They both smell very nice. Coming back into the big wild woods, the beauty bush trees are all done. You can see their little seed pods here. They were in full bloom just 3 weeks ago. Fantastic. The sweet peas are starting to come up and cover the clematis that is almost done blooming here. These I think it's ladybells. It's the common name. Janny and I used to call it cancer of the garden because it spread so aggressively. We worked actively to remove it. You can see how successful we were when you just let it go for a couple of years. It's now spreading everywhere again. Spreads by seeds, spreads by rhizomes. You pull it out, any little bit of root left comes back up. Raspberry patch. Blackberry patch is just back beyond it a little bit. We'll see, the raspberries are okay. All 4 beehives that are in our immediate neighborhood did not survive the winter, so we haven't had as many bees for pollination this year. We're down to one old chicken. She gets let out every day now, so she's not just cooped up by herself. She gets the run of the yard, except for the vegetable garden, which, as you can see, is fairly wild as well. Lovely Jackmanii clematis on the gate there. We've got tomatoes, got 12 tomato plants, a couple of eggplants, beans, and what the heck is that? Southern big leaf plant. You make greens with collard greens. These are all on drip, so the roomies won't have to pay much attention while we're gone. That's my water storage tank from irrigation water I fill every year. That's a dead beehive that our neighbor that was the beekeeper has kind of given up for now. I had to spread some diatomaceous earth on my beans to give them a good start because something was nibbling on them. All this is wild arugula or rocket. It's lovely, peppery, yummy, chewy goodness that I'm gonna pop that in my mouth. Gets a little tough later in the summer, but you can see it's become a weed in this garden. I don't have anything in this section this year because we're going to be gone for 2.5 months, so I don't want to put too much load on the roomies. Jupiter's beard, you can see there's lots of those white moths / butterflies right now. There's a swallowtail coming to say hello too. Strawberries. Been eating strawberries. They're small but yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, there's a grasshopper come to have a strawberry too. Very sweet but little. Don't know the variety, can't remember. Walk back through the wild woods continues. This is compost acres. Got a couple of piles going here. This one's almost done. All our household we deal with inside this raised garbage can that's raised on this so the rats and squirrels don't chew into the bottom of it. Our kitchen scraps go in there mixed with dry leaves out of here. There you can see the blackberries are blooming. They got an early freeze last year and the leaves never dropped. I need to do a little bit more trimming on them. Need to do that this week before we leave, as well as the grapevines need another trim before we go. The old swing set. Kind of hard to swing with the bushes not trimmed back. Back corner of our lot where the irrigation gets diverted in when it's our turn. Every 8 days we get irrigation out of Mill Creek Canyon still. So I pretty much water the wild woods section, all the big trees and bushes with irrigation water still that we have rights to. This is the main irrigation ditch in the property. There's one here that is really just an open channel that runs all the way down to the west lot line. This runs to the south and gets diverted into the trees and bushes here. All this is next year's lunaria, which will, it's a biennial, so those will all shoot up tall and be lovely purple topped flowers in the spring, and then they turn into those papery discs of money plant is its common name. This section is lightened up quite a bit since I took that hawthorn out, and the sun is shining in, and the bushes like that, they're growing bigger and bigger. We have a couple different little sitting areas scattered around the property, and of course the obligatory junk pile by the shed, wood and sand and garden materials. One of my old artworks I used to make. There's some more on that wall too from years ago. And this brings us right back to our little deck off our bedroom. Back out to the front yard, where I'm going to go have a sit for a moment on our front porch before I go do a little work in the van that we're getting ready to hop in and head to Alaska for the summer. Hope you enjoyed the tour. See ya.